Hello everybody, it's lunchtime here in Coolani, County Sligo, and today is Friday and of course day 28 of our Trad Tune at Lunch series. Of course that means it's our last day here of this series, so thank you so much everybody for all your support over the last nearly 6 weeks actually, and as I said before, it's been really lovely to see so many people regularly tuning in and contributing and sharing your thoughts and experiences. It's been a great few weeks, and thank you of course to the Hawkswell Theatre here in Sligo, who've been great supporters of traditional music while the theatre was open, and of course during this downtime they've been certainly keeping very active and keeping the arts community going and engaged here in Sligo. So thanks a million to Marie and all the team there at the Hawkswell, a wonderful place. If any of you have ever had the chance to catch a concert there, it's always a great night. So today, as I said, is day 28, our last day. Thank you very much, Stephen and David. I see a lot of regulars there going to miss these sessions. Hope to get to see you in the US again. Yes, well, we certainly hope so. We always look forward immensely to our trips to the US. So today, well, we've been travelling around. We've got around to a few different parts of the country. Of course, the last few weeks has been maybe there's been a lot of Sligo musicians talked about, which is I hope you'll forgive me for that. But we did try to move around to so many other great parts of the country where there've been wonderful fiddlers over the years. And of course we've touched on some of the great composers as well, because while we are definitely very lucky to have so many great tunes in the tradition and a big body of work, a lifetime's work, really impossible to keep all the great tunes that we have in any of our heads at one time, but nonetheless it's always a real treat to have new material added to the tradition, and that's been happening all the time throughout the musical journey of Irish traditional music, and it continues with so many great people adding to the well of tunes. And today I wanted to play another new composition from a fiddler that needs no introduction, one of the greats, definitely left a huge legacy over Irish music and Irish fiddling in general over the last few decades, and that's Tommy Peoples. An amazing man, amazing fiddler, and what a composer as well. And you know, we lost Tommy sadly in 2018. I think that just under 2 years ago, we lost Tommy Peoples, and a big loss. Tommy is to the tradition because he gave so much. You know, he came from East Donegal, a place called St. Johnstone, as many of you will know, and Donegal is such a huge place for traditional fiddling anyway. But Tommy came from East Donegal, which is you know, it's another side of Donegal. It's such a vast county, so many different pockets of music and places. It's a great adventure to travel around Donegal, and so much great music has come out of it. But Tommy's style is just, you know, he had such an individual touch in his playing right from the beginning. I mean, if you go back and listen to his earliest recordings, he made a great one. Well, it was a collection of live recordings brought out by Cultus Kiltreer, and featuring a couple of folk club performances and from Tommy's younger days, and incredible playing. He has such a mature individual style and expression in the music, groundbreaking really, even at a young age. And he continued, of course, he contributed so much to the Bothy band, and then spent a lot of his life in Clare as well. And I first got to hear Tommy playing actually at a local concert in the community centre where I lived in Crusheen in County Clare, and Tommy was invited. It was probably the Christmas concert, I think it was, and Tommy and his great daughter Siobhan were invited to play and that's the very first time I got to hear Tommy playing live. Of course, I had heard his recordings at that point, but he continued to make such a great contribution. Spent a number of years over in the United States as well, before returning to Ireland. And one of the places I'd always see Tommy was at the Willie Clancy School, where he taught for so many years, and he was always one of the first. You know, at a summer school like that, obviously the nights get late and it gets difficult to arrive in on time for class, let alone early. But Tommy was always there early. He'd be sitting out in the car park in the car. He was always there early, and gave a lot to this teaching. And in the latter years of his life, in 2015, I think it was, he brought out a book which he had been working on for some time throughout his illness. And Tommy had collected a lot of the tunes that he had written over his lifetime, and just as importantly, give a little bit of context to the tunes and the stories behind them. And it really is a beautiful, beautiful work, a lifetime's work, really, and well worth getting your hands on if you don't have it already. It's a very large book. There's a lot in it, and it would take. I still haven't got through every tune in the book. There's a lot there, and thanks so much. We're so lucky that Tommy worked so hard to get that book published. So to finish off our series today, I wanted to finish with one of Tommy's tunes, a tune that I haven't been playing, but I absolutely love and enjoy learning new tunes, and this is one that I hadn't encountered before. And Tommy named it for two very special people, Muiris Úna. And those of you who will be familiar with the Willie Clancy Summer School will recognise those two amazing people, Muiris Úna and his wife Úna. Muiris, for so many years, was the director of the Sligo Willie Clancy, the Willie Clancy Summer School, and he gave so much of his life to it, and was such an amazing presence in getting the summer school off the ground and leading the summer school for so many years, along with a great team, including Harry Hughes and Eamon McGivney. And I have great memories of Muiris and his wife Úna from when I was a child, because I was very fortunate that my mother brought me out and my sister Maura out to the Willie Clancy Summer School at a very young age. I think maybe around 1986, and it started a tradition, like for so many people out there, and maybe a lot of you listening, of going back every year to the Willie Clancy Summer School. So a very, very special retreat for so many music lovers over the years. And Muiris and his wife Úna gave so much and created so much of that atmosphere that made the Willie Clancy School, and still makes it so special. Unfortunately, sadly, we lost Muiris before his time, around 2011, and so Tommy, anyhow, composed a beautiful tune, a beautiful 5-part jig in memory of Muiris, and of course as thank you to Úna as well, who was a wonderful lady. So I'll just maybe read you out a little bit about what Tommy says about the tune. It's called Muiris Úna. He said, "This jig is dedicated to Muiris, rest in peace, and Úna ní Rúcháin of Miltown Malbay, County Clare. Muiris and Úna were both greatly involved in the Willie Clancy Summer School, as well as other aspects of Irish culture, particularly the language. Muiris was a native Irish speaker from West Kerry. Both worked as teachers in Moy National School, and Muiris was also involved in the publication of Dal Gash, a periodic publication featuring poetry, historical articles, and other features relating to County Clare. And it was always a pleasure for me to meet Muiris and Úna. So no surprise that both Muiris and Úna touched so many people, and Tommy was obviously very taken with both Muiris and Úna, and he wrote this lovely jig. And you know, it's great to have some of these longer tunes as well. It's a 5-part jig, and they're not that many tunes in our tradition that are very long. When you think of the longer jigs, you think of tunes like maybe Dr. O'Neill's or some of the other longer jigs, but there are not that many of them. So I'm going to give this one a go, and it's called Muiris Úna from Tommy Peoples. Now, that was Muiris Úna, composed by the legendary fiddler Tommy Peoples, who left us with so many wonderful, wonderful tunes and interpretations of tunes that he didn't write as well. An amazing figure in Irish music for the last number of decades. So, as I mentioned, that tune was dedicated by Tommy to Muiris and Úna O'Rochain, who lived in Milltown, Malbay, County Clare, and lots of great memories, as so many people have, of Muiris, who sadly passed away in 2011. And his wife Úna is always such a great presence at the Willie Clancy Summer School, which we're all going to miss terribly this year, but look forward to getting back to that wonderful week in Milltown, Malbay. So if you have any special memories of Muiris Úna, or Tommy Peoples, or the Willie Clancy Summer School, please share them, because I know people from all over the world have come to that great week of music over the years, and I've met many great people at that particular week. And Tommy mentioned also in the book that the tune that he wrote it with the uilleann pipes in mind as well, because Muiris and Úna's son Seamus is a wonderful uilleann piper, so he thought that the tune would be suitable for Seamus as well to play on the pipes. So hope you've been enjoying the tunes over the last 28 days. Today, as I said, is day 28, and our very last day of the series, but it's been a really special few weeks to hear from all of you, and I've enjoyed so much going back over some old and some new tunes and delving back into that well that is our tradition, and so many people have contributed to that well with tunes and interpretations and all that, and that's what makes it such a rich experience for all of us who enjoy it. So I wish you all the best, and I'm sure I'll be popping up online from time to time with various things, but thank you for the encouragement and for listening as well. It's been a great few weeks, and a final thanks to the Hawkswell Theatre for making this all happen, and we'll see you all again hopefully soon, and take care. All the best.